Jessica Tugwell here with the latest in the Bob Baffert versus Churchill Downs saga.
Trust the Profits is proud to be sponsored by Game of Silks. Go to silks.io to get in the game. Real ownership, real races, real rewards.
So it's official, no Baffert in the Kentucky Derby. Amr Zedan's quest for a temporary injunction that would require Churchill Downs to allow Muth to run in the Derby was denied today by a Louisville judge. So in case you've been living under a rock, here is a brief synopsis of the story to this point. Bob Baffert was given a 2-year suspension after Medina Spirit won the 2021 Kentucky Derby, only to be DQ'd when a post-race drug test detected beta-methazone, a prohibited substance. Last summer, amidst legal battles attempting to reinstate Medina Spirit as the Derby winner, that appeal was officially dismissed with prejudice this January. CDI announced that they were extending Baffert's ban through 2024. And at first, it seemed like that was just going to be the end of it. Connections had until January 29th to move horses to another trainer in order to be eligible for the Kentucky Derby qualifying points, and Amr Zedan opted not to do so. However, after Muth won the Arkansas Derby, Zedan has sued Churchill Downs on the theory of promissory estoppel. Essentially, if a party relied on a promise to their detriment, they may recover those losses if reliance on that promise was deemed reasonable. So there were also other grounds for relief, but essentially Zedan is saying he bought millions of dollars of yearlings and 2-year-olds during that initial suspension, thinking that they would be eligible for the Derby after the ban expired because Baffert had no more drug positives. And now, to his detriment, they aren't being allowed to run in the race. However, after 3 hearings to schedule the matter and hear arguments, Jefferson Circuit Judge Mitch Perry denied the temporary injunction motion, although it is expected to be appealed to the Kentucky Court of Appeals. For now, though, we're right back where we started. The 2024 Kentucky Derby will be run without Arkansas Derby winner Muth. So that's the news bit of things. I haven't actually spoken on the channel about this at all, so I figured, why not? Let's talk about Bob Baffert. Personally, I am completely indifferent to this ruling. I didn't really expect that it would work out. The timeline of things, just you got 2 weeks. I don't think that, and that was kind of, I think, part of what Zedan was hoping was that it would be just a temporary injunction, and even if after rulings prove that, no, not really, that he could at least sneak into the Derby. But it didn't work out that way for him. And frankly, while I'm not sorry to not have Bob Baffert in the Kentucky Derby, I am completely okay with a Kentucky Derby that doesn't have Muth in it. I do think that the initial extension of the ban it comes across really petty on Churchill's part. Baffert hasn't had any more major drug positives or anything. And that was kind of their grounds when they first put out the ban was, if all is well, then we'll let him run back in the Derby again. But instead, they kind of cited that Baffert didn't feel sorry enough. He didn't act sorry enough for what happened, which, I mean, if at this point, who cares? It's over. I'm really just over the whole debacle. I think the extension of the ban was kind of ridiculous, and at the same time, I just don't really care to have these Baffert's latest horse of a lifetime in the Kentucky Derby. I think that we will be okay without it. Contrary to some opinions, I don't think it cheapens the Kentucky Derby at all. People were saying back in February or whatever, oh no, Nisos can't run in the Kentucky Derby. Well, turns out Nisos wasn't going to be able to run in the Derby anyway. So it's all just kind of getting very old at this point to me. So hopefully next year we'll have Bob Baffert back in the Derby and we can all be upset when a Baffert superstar runs off the screen and wins, and it'll be back to business as normal in horse racing. But until then, I am okay with another Baffert-free Kentucky Derby, if only because this is one race that Bob Baffert won't win, and I'm just done seeing Bob Baffert get a horse of a lifetime every 3 days. It gets boring. I want to see other people have horses of a lifetime. So that's my thoughts on the matter. As of right now, barring anything in the Kentucky Court of Appeals that changes matters in the next 2 weeks, it really seems unlikely that we'll have Muth in the Derby. So let me know what you think. Do you think that Churchill Downs is in the wrong? Which, like I said, I kind of do, but at the same time, I'm not sorry about it. Or, are you mad about it? Do you think that they should have allowed Muth into the Kentucky Derby with this appeal this year? Let me know what you think. And until next time, thanks so much for watching. But for now, we're basically right back where we started. The 2020